Yo, welcome back to my channel. I am Aubrey Love, and today we're going to be watching the 10-year takedown of YSL. I am very intrigued about this. I don't know if y'all are following this. I'm not really following it, but I saw this video, so I was like, man, I might as well check it out. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. I'm trying really hard. So, you can help me out by subscribing. So let's do this, man. Let's check out the 10-year takedown of YSL.
On May 9th, Fulton County Sheriff's Department took Young Thug into custody after what they say was a 10-year-long investigation. Shortly after, arrests were issued for 28 others that include Gunna, Duke, Yak Gotti, and more, who are all under YSL the label. An 88-page indictment was released that revealed all the charges being issued amongst them.
88 pages.
Young Thug himself is being considered the organizer and head of operation. He's facing 56 different charges under the RICO Act, where YSL is accused of being a
56 charges. I'm gonna try to minimum stop this video, but I gotta 10 years they've been. So all the people saying free these people. I know y'all want them free, but 56 charges, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to beat all of them. You know what I mean?
Criminal organization. Because authorities have been building this case for almost a decade, we now have access to most of the evidence against them, including some of the more serious charges, which include the murders of over 50 different people. One in particular, a man named Donovan Thomas Jr., also known in the streets of Atlanta by Big Nut. I'll explain why this is important.
All right, let's do it. This is wild, though. I have no information on what's going on, to be honest.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He's pulling the shots. He is the most dangerous of the 28.
This would be the coldest
Thug grew
intro.
up in the Jonesboro South Projects in Atlanta's Zone 3 neighborhood. He's the second youngest of 11 kids, to which most of his siblings were involved in the streets already, so he jumped off the porch at a young age and joined the Bloods from Cleveland Avenue. It started with fights at school and eventually led to selling drugs, which would land him 4 years in juvie. He was always looked at as the trendsetter in his hood. People were shocked by his wild behavior, fashion sense, and when he began rapping, even that was different from anything people were used to. He started making music around 2010 and branded his own crew, YSL, which would eventually become his label after gaining mainstream success. But as early as 2013, the Atlanta Police Department had already started their investigation. In August of 2013, Thugger was pulled over for a traffic violation when they found a firearm in his glove box that had been reported missing months before by an elderly woman. The following month, his associate YSL DK would perform a home invasion that took the life of the homeowner. With the letters YSL tattooed on his face, the police had no choice from this point forward to consider it a gang, and they started watching their every move. Over the next 2 years, Young Thug's career would take off, all while authorities kept quiet and waited for him to slip up. At the same time Thug was gaining traction, so was another artist from Atlanta's Zone 3. He went by YFN Lucci. Lucci is from Summer Hill, not far from where Thug grew up. Similarly, Lucci also comes from the streets and reps a blood gang.
They both had some
ABG.
hard songs when they was up.
A close friend of his named Big Nut encouraged him to start taking rap more serious after hearing his music. Big Nut was well known in Atlanta, so he helped connect Lucci with higher ups in the industry and get his career off the ground. For that, he had YFN's respect forever. As Thug and Lucci's careers were taking off, so was the tension between both their crews. But things would take a turn for the worse. In January of 2015, 4 members of YSL got the location of Big Nut, who was getting his haircut on McDaniel Street. They got into an Infiniti Q50 rental car and sped to his location. Big Nut was standing outside the barbershop when 4 men drove by spraying automatic weapons, taking his life and injuring 2 bystanders. At the time, police didn't have a clear motive and declared it a gang-related incident, so it remained unsolved. But this event would be the start of an ongoing war between YFN and YSL that would last for years to come and cost multiple.
See, I'm not tapped in. These boys are all in a war, and I didn't even know what was going on. This is crazy. I gotta get more tapped into the music. I'm not street though, but I ain't even know nothing all about this. I didn't know they was beefing. I just know when they did this RICO trial, they said that Young Thug tried to get Lucci killed in jail. That's the only thing I heard about. I didn't know all this to start off. I didn't know this jumped it off. You know what I mean? New info.
People their lives. Initially, only those closely involved knew about the beef.
See?
Eventually, it leaked into their music and social medias. The biggest mistake both sides made was publicizing their issues, unknowing that the police were watching it play out and now had more information to work with. Lucci's mother house was shot up and YSL DK took multiple shots at YFN members in a drive-by. Of course, YFN retaliated and attempted to take the life of YSL Duke outside Magic City, but failed as well. This was only a few of the incidents that were taking place, but the conflicts would end up splitting Atlanta's hip-hop scene as people took sides. His career was starting to reach the mainstream, and a big part of that was the run he had with Birdman and their group Rich Gang. So when Lil Wayne accused Birdman of owing him $10 million, Young Thug stepped in and began taking shots at Lil Wayne.
I remember he subbed Lil
literally.
Wayne bus. Or, allegedly. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. We gotta ask, so I gotta stop. You know what I mean? But I don't really like when people be like, "Oh, so and so did this," and they like super famous. I usually do not believe it, cause why would this $10 million man shoot up this other $10 million man car? But you know what I'm saying? Now who am I to not believe it? So you know what I mean?
In April of 2015, Lil Wayne came to Atlanta to perform at a festival when his tour bus was followed from the airport to Cobb County, and eventually shots were fired into the bus. Nobody was injured, but this was still a shocking event. A man named Pee Wee Roscoe was arrested for the crime, and after a few days of investigating, it was revealed he too was a part of Thug's crew. The more crimes that were committed, the easier it became for authorities to slowly piece together all the names of everyone connected to YSL. With all this new information, and also the issues between crews being posted all over the internet, they were able to go back and look over past events as well to see if the dots connected. One of those was the death of Donovan Thomas Jr., or Big Nut, that we talked about. The murder was still unsolved, but with YSL raining havoc in Atlanta, they were looking for any clues that could put them away for good. Now that they knew YSL and YFN had issues, they looked into the case once again. Doing this, they discovered that the Infinity Q50 that was used in the drive-by was rented by none other than Young Thug.
Oh
from Hertz
no,
Rent
not them
Center.
putting two and two
By now,
together.
they had enough evidence to put people away, but it still wasn't solid enough to tie Young Thug to most of the crimes, as he wasn't the one doing the dirty work. The only way they would be able to get him was if they went after him with a RICO. This would allow them to charge him as the leader of YSL, therefore any crime anybody under him commits, he too could be taken down with them. Meanwhile, they waited patiently while countless more crimes were committed and evidence piled up, all while the years would pass by, giving YSL the impression they may get away with it.
The most important thing that we are here to do
Oh no, I
is to
seen
keep
her
this
on
community
the
safe,
news, man.
and we believe removing these 28 defendants will keep Fulton County safer.
In May of 2022, the arrest warrants for 28 people believed to be a part of YSL were issued. Possibly the most shocking of all was that of Gunna. Although he's clearly known to be the biggest artist repping YSL right now, he's also possibly the only member
Young
who's
Gunna,
known to
Gunna.
not have a criminal background. He comes from the suburbs of College Park, Georgia, and it's well known that he doesn't have a history in street activity. But because he's signed and an associate to YSL, he too found himself in the RICO allegations. His charges only include 2 traffic violations for speeding and tinted windows, as well as his lyrics that they're trying to use as evidence that he's a danger to his community.
So Gunna might get
In
out.
particular, Young
he don't
Thug,
got too much
Gunna,
on
and
him.
Yak Gotti's hit song, Take It to Trial. Because of this, his bond was denied.
The allegations, just reading the indictment itself and nothing more, it is so clear that he is entitled to bond. There are, in essence, 2 traffic offenses, and he was found guilty of a window tint violation. That's the RICO allegation with regard to 4 or 5 of the paragraphs of the RICO indictment. The other one claims that he was speeding and got a speeding ticket. Actually wasn't even the driver. And the only other allegations in the RICO indictment involve lyrics for some of his songs, some of which are some of the most internationally famous songs right now.
I saw how you were watching me come closer.
Young Thug, on the other hand, has 56 different charges he's fighting that
Yeah,
include the
Gunna
shooting
might
of
get
Lil
out.
Wayne's tour bus
I don't
and the
know
death
about
of Big
Young
Nut,
Thug.
and possibly 50 others. Not as the man who pulled the trigger, but as the one calling all of the shots. But possibly the scariest part of this case is the fact that he's relying on 27 other people to not turn against him. According to prosecutors, multiple YSL members are already cooperating and claim they fear for their and their families' lives.
That we have taken proffers from fellow gang members from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will kill them and their family.
Therefore, Young Thug's bond has been denied as well.
Dang.
Meanwhile, police noticed an increase of cell phones trying to be smuggled into jail for YSL members. Instead of confiscating the phones, they decided to wiretap them, then proceed to let them through. Doing this, they've already caught one member who's been unnamed having a conversation about getting evidence destroyed, and they were able to stop it. Only making things worse now that authorities know they're trying to make moves from behind bars. Without bond, they will remain locked up until the trial begins in January of 2023. But with how large this case is, it's likely even that will be pushed back. But if the takedown of YSL wasn't enough, Lil Keed, who was one of the few members signed to the label that was not arrested or accused of anything, he would pass away just 4 days after all of this came to light.
Dang, boom, boom, boom.
To the
It's like
world, YSL
dominoes
stands for
falling.
Young Stoner
One
Life
fell and then
Records, and has given
everything
us
fall.
countless hit songs. But to Fulton County, YSL is a gang and criminal organization, and they plan to put an end to its name for good.
Well, man, that's the takedown of YSL. If you wasn't like in Atlanta, you wouldn't have known like none of this stuff. Like, I enjoy Young Thug's music and the come up. I pre-download all of his albums before they come out. So you know what I'm saying. I understood. Like, I hear people's lyrics, but most of the time I don't take them for, you know, real hits. Like, I'm not really finna hit to the hit out of them. You know what I'm saying? Just lyrics. You know what I mean? Or just little speech. You know, I feel like a lot of rappers say things that they don't really do. But he was really out here living his life. 56 charges against, bro, which is crazy. I don't think, you know, one out of, you know, if they get 30 of them dismissed, it's still, what, 26, man. So if he only take 26 charges, that's just so many. Now, Gunna, he might get out. He still might drip or drown us when he gets out, but I don't know about Young Thug. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I am Aubrey Love. Make sure to like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So that would really help out if you subscribe. But until next time.
Yo, you made it all the way through the video. I really appreciate it. You can watch another one of my videos by hitting one of the links in the description or by watching the playlist that popped up right now. YouTube might also recommend you a video, and that's great to watch as well. If you're new to my channel, I am Aubrey Love, and I post videos somewhat often now. So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified anytime that I post. And if you're old to my channel, you know what we're gonna say now. So until next time, God bless.